mean, well, it's interesting. You mentioned, there are 65 in the House, 35 members of the Senate, even 100 people. It's 100 people, but I think it's about 150 personalities. and so, what I find most gratifying, actually, more than anything else, is finding someone who I've always disagreed with on every issue, and we find that one thing that works, the one thing that we finally get together on. And when I was first here at the Capitol, I was elected on a vacancy, and so the session was already in full swing. And I called every member of the House, Democrat and Republican, and asked them out for coffee. And they all 65 of them or 64 of them told me the same thing. One, what do you want? And I said, I don't even know, because I just found my parking space like yesterday, and I just want to get to know you. And the second thing they said is, well, no other sitting member has ever asked that of me before, just to sit down in the middle of a legislative session and have a lunch or have a coffee together and get to know each other better. And so, one of the people that I met during that was a rural Republican lawmaker. He's now in the Senate, and we had coffee, we talked. A few people saw us on the patio and sort of clutched their hearts, like, what's this liberal and conservative actually plotting? And we just talked, and we did not vote for each other's bills all year. But we got to know each other, and when the flood hit in 2013, that was a flood that affected the entire state, right? Whether you were on the Eastern Plains or on the Front Range or Southern Colorado, you were hit by this. And his district had slightly different needs than mine, but we finally found a bill that we could both work on together to study the impacts of that flood and make sure that farmers weren't disproportionately hurt as opposed to suburbanites or anybody else. And hopefully it doesn't take a natural disaster to bring people together, but we were ready to have that conversation because we had already had that conversation about who we were as people, what we cared about. So I think that's the first thing that I tell people, whether you're inside this building as a lawmaker, lobbyist, community member, call folks up, ask them for coffee, see what happens. Not everyone will say yes, but they'll remember that you asked.